Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Maybe the facility you manage could establish new revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Cart King International can be the answer to your needs. Cart King is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile coffee, food, and retail carts and kiosks. Cart King has been working with clients and corporations across North America for 20 years, providing innovative designs, custom manufacturing, and timely delivery. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on our website. Please visit us today at www.cart-king.com or just call us at 1-877-986-7771 and get your sales rolling.
My sound man, Shane McKay, has his business called MacSoundServices.com. That's M-A-C-K soundservices.com. What he does for me is I send him my shows, and he does audio enhancements and stuff like that. He does miracles if you see some of the stuff I send him and how it comes back. So get a hold of Shane at MacSoundServices.com. M-A-C-K soundservices.com. PureSoapFlakes.com. 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with pure soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. Order today at PureSoapFlakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525, 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild.
Tina Helmuth is writing an ongoing series of fact-fiction books that boldly takes on today's most heinous crimes, the abduction, sexual trafficking, and cannibalization of our children. Suffer the Little Children, The Wrath of the Father, and Unbreakable. Deeply researched and mixed with the supernatural, good versus evil makes these thrillers hard to put down, shining a light on the root cause of these crimes and introducing a spiritual solution. Justice will be served. Available at lulu.com in paperback or ebook.
It's the Opperman Report. Join digital forensic investigator and PI Ed Opperman for an in-depth discussion of conspiracy theories, strategy of New World Order resistance, high-profile court cases in the news, and interviews with expert guests and authors on these topics and more. It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
And go. Okay, welcome to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. You can find me at Opperman Investigations and Digital Forensic Consulting through my website, emailrevealer.com, or at oppermaninvestigations@gmail.com. And if you like today's show, check out our members section at oppermanreports.com, where we have all kinds of exclusive content you won't find online or on the internet. And, of course, our archives you could find at Spreaker.com. Our guest today is Stephen Hoffenberg, who's the former owner of the New York Post, and he was the partner and mentor of Jeffrey Epstein. We have 6 previous shows with Stephen Hoffenberg, so you can just go to Spreaker.com and search for Stephen Hoffenberg at Opperman, and it'll come right up. Mr. Hoffenberg, are you there?
Yes, Ed, I'm here, and I have 9 years' experience directly with Jeffrey Epstein.
This is way back, like in the 70s you met him, right? Or the 80s?
No, the 80s and 90s. And I've been into the case ongoing, non-stop.
We know that.
Right now.
No, we know that. That's for sure. We've heard the previous 6 shows. So now, just a minute ago, you were telling me that you have the smoking gun, you have some brand new breaking news. Tell us what you got.
The breaking news, which is the smoking gun that's going to bust the bubble, is the Southern Trust Company. Online, you'll see a series of stories regarding Jeffrey Epstein's Southern Trust Company. That company shows hundreds of $millions of financial crimes that are going to be exposed very, very soon by the authorities. And one of the Epstein inside group is looking for a deal, looking to make a deal so he's not facing any prison time. This is amazing breaking news.
Now,
go ahead, Ed.
Is it a name that we would recognize?
The person that wants to make the deal or the Southern Trust Company?
The person that wants to make the deal.
You absolutely would recognize the name.
Is it a name that you often repeat when you come on the show?
That's a very deep question, Ed, and I want to tell the authorities first before I do anything else.
Okay, now you're telling me that this person's come to you, they've explained to you that they want to make a deal, but they have not yet gone to the prosecutors yet.
The person will not go to the prosecutors up until the time that the prosecutors are on the same page with the insider of the Epstein crimes.
And you're helping to broker this deal.
And I'm helping to bring it about. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so then this is very exciting, important news. That's for sure. Okay, now what kind of timetable are we looking at here?
Well, I'm talking to the regulators, and I'm explaining step by step about Financial Trust Company, down indict Jeffrey Epstein, and the insider who wants to make a deal. So I'm going slowly with the regulators so that they can understand each moving part. This has been an awful lot of work, Ed, and you can appreciate how much you have to explain.
Right. Now, you sent me an article recently by the New York Times. Explain the difference between Financial Trust and the Southern Trust.
That's a great question, Ed. Financial Trust was discontinued by Epstein when Wexner took back his money. And Epstein was very worried about lawsuits that might come from Wexner, where Wexner has made claims publicly that Epstein looted tens of millions of dollars from the Wexner accounts. So Financial Trust was used as Epstein's main vehicle up into the problem with Wexner when he broke away in 2007. And then you can see that Epstein stopped using Financial Trust and set up a new company called Southern Trust Company, where all the crimes are clearly articulated. You can start reading the stories, and the public can start to understand the crimes. It's much deeper than what the stories say, and I have inside information, but it's very powerful on the surface. And Southern Trust is the financial crimes going on right now for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Now,
this minute.
Yeah, from reading the New York Times article that you sent me, I get the gist that perhaps what was going on was these wealthy people would deposit funds with Epstein in these companies, and then his extortion or his blackmail money would come in the way of fees. Is that what was going on?
He was extorting people for great sums of money. And you can see from the New York Times story, hundreds of millions of dollars just showed up.
Yeah.
From nowhere, when Epstein was showing no income in Financial Trust. None. And then all of a sudden he incorporates a Southern Trust Company and hundreds of millions of dollars just show up.
And it's interesting.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's interesting too that suddenly, after his conviction, after his legal troubles, all this money starts flowing in.
You know, as a private investigator, Ed, that after you're convicted of the type of crimes Epstein was convicted with Alex Acosta in 2007 and 2008, it's impossible for hundreds of millions of dollars to just show up in Southern Trust Company. Can't be done. Can't be done.
And now you have insider information. Do you know where that money came from?
I have sources that are going to expose exactly where every penny came from, and the regulators have the right to serve a subpoena on Darren Dyke right now, right this minute, under my restitution court order. They can serve a subpoena and ask the pertinent questions of how the hundreds of millions of dollars showed up after Epstein's arrest in Southern Trust Company. That subpoena will be served by the regulators.
Okay. And you having this inside information, the source of this money, would we recognize these names immediately and say, oh, my God?
You would be very shocked. Very shocked. These are financial crimes taking place now. Epstein and Dyke are using financial trust to perpetrate these crimes. And Dyke, when he gets served with the subpoena, he'll take the Fifth Amendment. He won't testify. And once he takes the Fifth Amendment for the subpoena that will be served now, he'll be thrown out of the trust.
That's true. But I think you mean Southern Trust, not Financial Trust.
He'll be thrown out of the trust of Epstein's $600 million.
Right. Now,
as a trustee.
Now you're saying that there's a restitution litigation that's you're instigating that?
I am the party to a $475 million court-ordered restitution.
Oh, got you. Right, gotcha.
That the regulators can use easily to serve a subpoena with my victim's lawyers on Darren Dyke for the Southern Trust hundreds of millions of dollars of financial crimes explanation.
Okay, I get it now. You're ordered to pay court-ordered restitution of $400 million, correct?
$475 million federal court-ordered restitution that the regulators can use right now to subpoena Darren Dyke so he can answer questions about Southern Trust Company's hundreds of millions of dollars that showed up overnight.
Gotcha. Right, and they have a motivation to do that because they want that money.
Well, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
There's no question. They're not going to allow this to continue.
Okay, and where are we in that process?
You're the first comment by me of the smoking gun evidence against Southern Trust Company, the Epstein Dyke, hundreds of millions of dollars in financial crimes. Right now.
Gotcha. And this is how you were able to broker this deal. This is how you were able to get this guy to turn, because you've explained to him, hey, we're gonna serve the subpoena. You better come in.
This guy knows that this is a house of cards, and it's just a question of time up until it folds, and Darren Dyke and the others look to make deals with the regulators. So whoever goes first to the regulators gets the best deal. Gotcha.
Okay, yeah, I got you, man. I got you. And this is very, very important breaking news. This is great stuff. Because if everything comes to completion the way you have it planned, it should reveal the names of the people who are funneling money into Jeffrey Epstein's pocket.
Hundreds of millions of dollars are not explained in Southern Trust Company that just showed up overnight. Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, right. That's no joke. Now also too, there's a whole strange thing that he claimed that it was having something to do with a DNA database.
His story is nonsense.
Right.
Complete nonsense.
It's crazy, yeah. And it has no employees there. It's like a little storefront, and they had Christmas presents under a tree there just recently, right?
It's ridiculous. Hundreds of millions of dollars don't show up for nothing.
Right. And
And that's what they claim.
Yeah, describe the creation of Southern Trust, the offices down there, how many employees, all of that.
Epstein created with Darren Indike, who signed most of the documents for Southern Trust Company, the new company that all of a sudden had hundreds of millions of dollars in it.
Right.
And they have a staff of a handful or a dozen people, and they made a verbal application for tax credits of 90% from the Virgin Islands. That was totally illegal and false.
Yeah.
Everything they said to the Virgin Islands was false. And the filings came from Darren Indike in New York City. So this is a very major smoking gun against Epstein and Darren Indike for hundreds of millions of dollars of financial crimes right now. Right now.
Right. And you are the one instigating this using your court-ordered restitution.
I'm responsible to go forward and assist the victims get their payment from my court-ordered restitution. Yes.
I got to tell you, man, I hope people are catching on, because that's brilliant. Okay, that is brilliant, man. That is brilliant.
Well, I am the party in possession of the $475 million court order.
Yeah.
And I want the regulators to benefit, to absolutely benefit.
I got you, man. And when did you come up with this plan?
Oh, I've been working on this for a while with a lot of people.
Okay. That's brilliant. And you thought of that?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I take my hat off to you, man. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Okay, and this is who is responsible for the court-ordered restitution? The Southern District of New York?
Southern District of New York has the authority,
right,
the power to subpoena Darren Indike and Southern Trust Company this minute under my restitution court order.
Exactly, they are, and they're 100% on board with this.
Well, I have to go through the process with them, so I can't speak for them. I have to start to explain it to them step by step.
Okay, then the only problem could be is if they are not as motivated to do this as you think. If they're
not, the Virgin Islands will.
Well, the Virgin Islands, what stake would the Virgin Islands have in recovering that $470 million restitution?
They have the right to pursue any claims they choose to pursue and engage the U.S. Attorney at St. Thomas to help them.
Okay.
There's a U.S. Attorney right on St. Thomas where that lawsuit was filed last Wednesday.
Right.
And the Virgin Islands are not going to throw away $700 million. It's $600 million now, but it's much more than that.
No, I agree with you. They got a lot of motivation there. And you're in contact with them? You've discussed this plan with them?
I have started to explain it to them.
Okay.
But I prefer that they work with the Southern District of New York.
And
I'm not trying to go around the Southern District of New York.
I agree.
I believe the Southern District of New York should lead the drive on this $600 million financial crimes under my restitution court order.
I got you, man. And the only thing that would prevent them from doing that is some kind of political motivations that there's pressure on them, correct?
I don't think that they would be politically motivated not to do this.
Okay.
This is kind of vanilla and easy to do.
Okay. And you're right. They want this money. Okay. And the money's in bad hands right now, and it could solve a lot of problems. It gets you off the jackpot. You must be very happy to hear about this plan, right?
I'm very happy, but also it gets closure for the victims.
And you're speaking.
The victims get closure.
And when you're speaking of the victims, you're speaking of the victims of the Towers Financial investors.
Towers Financial and the rape victims.
Okay.
All Epstein victims get closure.
Gotcha. Now you took this information, you presented it to someone on the inside, and say, "Hey, this is what's about to happen. You need to make a deal."
Someone on the inside is looking to make a deal. I don't want to say chapter and verse what's being said to that person.
Gotcha.
Because then we'd be quoting actual points of fact, which we got to be careful about. That person is going to make a deal.
Yeah.
That person wants to make a deal.
Now, what type of information does this person have to give? He can say who the donors were, who the people who funded that Southern.
That person can give up Darren Indike, the hundreds of millions of dollars in Southern Trust, can give up the $600 million in the Epstein estate, and tell all the crimes, everything.
Can you reveal to us who you suspect is the source of that $600 million that funded Southern Financial Trust?
That's a great question again, Ed.
I'm working today, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm earning my pay because you got me excited. This is big news.
What I believe happened, knowing Jeffrey Epstein for 9 years and knowing Darren Indike for longer than 9 years, since 92, is that this is money that Epstein and Indike had put aside from Financial Trust Cup.
Oh, wow.
And they wanted to money launder this amount of dollars and get it out.
Gotcha.
And put it into a tax-exempt vehicle, which Southern Trust became.
Okay, I got you. You're saying it's the money from Tower Financial, okay? Now,
this could be the money from a number of sources that they had set aside.
Now,
this could be.
To explain the situation with Tower Financial, investigators came in. They saw what you describe as auditing irregularities or irregularities, right?
That was an accounting irregularity problem.
Right. But it was adjudicated, and it was decided by these investigators that you were responsible for that. And Epstein and Endike and Rudy Giuliani, on the other end, kind of skated away and got away. Now, so $400 million disappeared at that point?
What they said in 1997, what the court said is the amount that I'm judging today as restitution due today is $475 million. And you can deal with credits at another time. So there was a court order issued for $475 million, and a couple of $100 million has been collected. But this will finish off that victim penalty and get those victims satisfied and get them closure.
I understand
This is going to open the door to closure for all the victims of Epstein and Indike.
So now the government came looking to you for that $470 million, and I assume that they've investigated you, and I can't find that you have it, right?
I was part, under the rule of law, with the Southern District of New York for 2013 to 2016 And I produced document after document in court, in federal court, showing the numbers. And the government was wanting to proceed, but there were problems and the government didn't proceed.
And those problems were?
I'm not going to characterize what happened at the Southern District of New York. What I'm going to talk about is the Southern District of New York can now subpoena Darien Dyke, get the Southern District into the Southern District, get the Southern Trust Company hundreds of millions of dollars of evidence into the Southern District, and Darien Dyke will take the Fifth Amendment, and that's going to remove him from controlling Epstein's $600 million at once.
But do you have information that leads you to be convinced that 470, whatever the money that was needed to be recovered, went into the hands of Epstein and Dyke? Do you have something?
I have evidence. Evidence.
Yes.
Black and white evidence.
That the money went into their hands.
That money went into that a huge amount of money went into the hands of the people, their group, who took over Towers Financial from me.
Yeah.
Fired me and took it over.
Now, this would exonerate you then.
Well, I should have gone to trial, Ed.
Yeah.
If I would have gone to trial, Epstein and his crowd would have been in prison. And I'm wrong for not going to trial, so I'm just trying to make good on what I should have done in the past in presenting the actual evidence that didn't get presented.
Right. Now, why didn't you go to trial?
My lawyers didn't want to go to trial. And that troubles me, and I end up firing the lawyers because they should have gone to trial. And they coerced me to plead guilty.
And who were these lawyers?
These were Hoffman and Pollock, a lawyer named Jeffrey Hoffman in New York City.
Okay, I'm unfamiliar. Okay. All right. Oh, boy. Is there anything else you want to share with us about this breaking news that maybe I haven't answered?
Well, you have to look at the point that Jeffrey Epstein was convicted.
Right.
2007, 2008, he got a no prosecution agreement from Alex Acosta for no federal prison time. Thereafter, he raises hundreds of millions of dollars in Southern Trust Company for some bogus DNA sample idea that nobody bought, that nobody agreed with, no scientists supported. So all of a sudden he has hundreds of millions of dollars not explained. Now the New York Times attempted to understand this, but they couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, the Times article had some facts in there, but didn't really come to any conclusions. Fascinating. This whole thing is fascinating, man. I tell you, this could work.
Well, this is a smoking gun to hundreds of millions of dollars right now.
And also, too, he fudged the documents down there in the Virgin Islands, too. That should be a little crowbar to get in there as well, right?
That's a smoking gun also.
Yeah.
There's no question that the documents filed in the Virgin Islands were crimes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, those are crimes.
Okay. So now you got, I guess, a whistleblower, someone who wants to turn, someone who was on the inside. Now, and we would know that name.
That name has got to be dealt with by the regulators.
No, right, but we would know it.
Oh, yes.
I would know it.
He's a major insider.
Okay. All right. All right, well, let's take a commercial break. We are with Stephen Hoffenberg, okay, who has just given us some really, it's a great plan. I know this guy's been working on this for years, man, and I think you really hit the jackpot here, man. And the plan is to use the court-ordered restitution against Stephen Hoffenberg to go serve a subpoena on the Southern Financial Trust and find out the source of that money, which Stephen Hoffenberg believes and has information and belief that those funds came from embezzling Tower Financial. Correct?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
exactly what happened.
All right, man. And I tell you, that could work. And he's got an insider, too, who's ready to talk and give a statement. Has this insider given a statement, a written statement?
No.
No. Okay. We'll be right back in.
He's a target. The insider is a target right now.
Okay. Gotcha. Is the insider aware that he's a target?
Of course, yes.
Okay. Because you told him verbally.
He knows he's a target.
Okay. All right. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be back with more of Stephen Hoffenberg and this smoking gun, like he says. Fascinating financial trail here. We'll be right back after these messages. And now a word from our sponsors. If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents, they handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at kmdlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to kmdlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law.
Are you ready to change your life, but don't know how to start? Is your stress and worries keeping you awake at night? Have you been battling grief, anxiety, or depression all alone? Have you lost touch with your own sense of being or spirituality? Soul Free Therapies offers professional and affordable live video streaming counseling and coaching services from the comfort of your own home. Sessions offered in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Go to our website at www.soul-free.com and book your first session today.
Hey, check out our brand new sponsor, Dynamic Solutions 2. That's the number 2. They offer a life-changing, dynamic financial solution. The finest in fast, professional, affordable credit repair. Is your credit in bad shape? Do you need a new car? Ready to buy a new house? You want to rent an apartment? Are you going to apply for a job? Any one of these activities, they're going to ask for a credit report and then check out your credit score. Let Dynamic Solutions 2 erase your negative credit remarks. They have affordable monthly prices. They accept Visa, MasterCard, PayPal options available. You go to www.dynamicsolutions, that's the number 2.com, or call 424-888-2820. 424-888-2820. Now, if you enter promo code ED or you mention Ed Opperman, you get a 10% discount. How's that? You get a free consultation, all negative items removed, get back in positive credit position. Dynamic Solutions 2, life-changing dynamic financial solutions. 424-888-2820. Tell them Ed Opperman sent you. You get a 10% discount. PureSoapFlakes.com, 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with Pure Soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to send a little extra soap, travel size, soap bars and laundry soap, cleaning soap flakes. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525, 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild.
It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. We have for you today some of the most important breaking news we have ever had on this show. I really do. We have Stephen Hoffenberg here telling us he's the former business partner and mentor of Jeffrey Epstein. He was the president of Tower Financial. That was the legal representation was Rudy Giuliani. One of the partners in that business was Jeffrey Epstein and Darren Endike. We have former CEO of the New York Post. And he's telling us a story that some recent reporting that came out of it. Now, I got a question for you. This information, does this the Southern Financial and this money that came into there do you have this information from New York Times reporting, or is this from Virgin Islands Attorney General investigation?
The name of the company is Southern Trust Company, owned by Jeffrey Epstein, operated by Darren Endike, right now presented for Jeffrey Epstein's bail package in the Southern District of New York.
Whoa.
And the New York Times, they didn't understand the ramifications of what Jeffrey Epstein and Darren Endike did. So the New York Times did report that there was transactions created that didn't make sense after Jeffrey Epstein was arrested and convicted in 2008 by Alex Acosta, but they at the New York Times have to go to the next levels, which they did not do yet.
But you suspect they're going to be doing more reporting on this in the next couple of days?
Well, are you going to put this out today?
I'm going to put it out tonight. Yeah, Wednesday night, January 22nd. And I'm going to repeat it this weekend.
Out tonight, this is a very serious smoking gun. And it shows where the financial crimes are right now, today.
Right.
In the Jeffrey Epstein $600 million.
Okay. And by the way, this was Epstein submitted this in his bail application?
Oh, yes. His bail application included all of his assets, and his biggest asset was Southern Trust Company. They took over for a financial trust company, and money was moved out of financial trust company into Southern Trust Company and never explained.
And he was just, I guess he was so desperate he had to reveal all this in his bail application, thinking no one would look into it? No.
He was desperate. But they didn't take his bail application as a serious request to the federal court, Southern District of New York.
Well, his attorneys would have had to have advised him that he had very little chance of getting bail. The guy has private planes, fake passports, you know. So he still took that chance to reveal all this.
He had no option. If he didn't file a bail application showing that he was going to collateralize it with gigantic assets, the judge would have never considered it.
Yeah, but it was a losing. I think it was a losing bid to begin with. But then who knows? The guy's operating on a whole different level than your average criminal defendant, just getting away with murder his entire life. Fascinating stuff.
He was pretty insulated up into this arrest by the Southern District of New York. Mr. Berman arrested Epstein in July of last year, which was a very serious arrest.
Yeah.
Now Mr. Berman, the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of New York, can expose the smoking gun evidence. He can expose it.
Is Maxwell's spokesperson, is she aware of what we're talking about today?
No, I'm not briefing them because I don't see any purpose to briefing them, because the insider that wants to make a deal with the regulators, his role would be to brief them, to brief the regulators about Maxwell's involvement, not mine.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. All right. Now, what should we be looking for? What clues should we be looking for in the news and stuff like that? The next thing would be an announcement that the SDNY served the subpoena on Southern Trust and Darren Endike?
Southern Trust Company must receive a subpoena. Who's going to issue that subpoena will be decided next by the regulators.
Right.
But the Southern District of New York or another regulator has to be involved in issuing the subpoena with the restitution court order.
And just to be clear, you're in communication with these regulators and they're on board with this plan?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
What I have said is that I'm about to open these discussions and walk them through this very slowly.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the show.
This is, well, if you have this, when this show is up, they're going to listen to it.
Okay, good.
Guaranteed.
Okay, good. I tell you, man, it's a great plan, and I got to tell you something else on the record here, that if this doesn't proceed, because it's a great plan, if it doesn't proceed, I would say there's something fishy going on, wouldn't you?
I would say it's going to proceed.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm not going to place blame before there's a reason to.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's going to proceed. The regulators are responsible. They're professionals, and it's going to proceed.
Yeah, and they're motivated too. It's all, everyone should be motivated in this. Oh boy.
Yes, it's going to take place.
Is there anything involving what you've reported to us today that you want the audience to know that I haven't asked you?
What's important is to look at the crimes that are taking place since Epstein dying in prison recently in August, on August 10th. It was 2018 that Epstein died in prison. Here you have Southern Trust Company. Hundreds of millions of dollars showed up overnight, literally. And this has to be investigated. And this is what's open for the regulators to investigate.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Yeah.
All they got to do is Google Southern Trust Company Epstein. That's all you got to do. Stories are all over the place, but incomplete stories.
And just to clarify, Southern Trust was created what year?
I believe that's been created in 2012.
2012, gotcha. Okay. And when did all that money show up in there? At the same time?
In the next period of time, hundreds of millions of dollars show up.
Right.
And the financial statements are published that got filed.
Right, because he filed it for his bail applications. This is insane. But now the thing is,
well, he filed them to get a tax credit also.
Right. I love it, man. His own greed takes him down. Now, and also too, when the disclosure of the purpose of the business was some kind of crazy bogus DNA research kind of thing, right?
The executive summary describing Southern Trust Company was laughable.
Yeah.
It was a joke. Ridiculous. Nobody would invest hundreds of millions of dollars in that Southern Trust Company. Nobody.
And he has a dozen or a half dozen Virgin Islanders down there working in this storefront. Do any of them have any kind of a background in DNA research or anything like that?
No.
This is great stuff, man. Let me ask you a question. Now, this judgment, this $470 million is a judgment against you, and this restitution judgment. How do you earn a living today, and how do you get by? You seem like a guy that lands on your feet. And how are you doing?
Well, I'm basically retired. So I'm not trying to do that much. I am trying to repent and make up for something that was lost by the public by me not going to trial.
Right.
The public took a big loss when I did not go to trial. I'm trying to make up for that now.
We got about 10 minutes left, and we've talked a bit off the air about your religious conversion, your repentance experience. Would you like to give us because we got about 10 minutes to kill here. You've given us breaking news. Would you like to explain to the audience about that?
Sure. My wife, Lisa, who wanted me to convert from Judaism to become a Christian, assisted me in getting homeschooled while I was in federal detention by experts, biblical experts, that took the time to teach me the Bible. And I studied as a Jew for years, for 5 to 7 years in homeschool Bible study, and I converted in federal prison to Christianity, to become a born-again Christian, and have been a servant of God Jesus ever since as a born-again Christian. And I'm trying to repent and make good for not going to trial and allowing this tragedy with Hoffenberg and Epstein and what occurred. If I would have gone to trial, this would have never happened. All those people would have been penalized.
Yeah. And probably a lot of victims would have been spared. A lot of young women, a lot of young girls.
The victims' pain and suffering, which is tragic, the rapes and the financial victims, if I would have gone to trial, it would have all been spared. Yeah. Yes.
And now, we hear even new information about girls as 11 years old down there in the Virgin Islands.
It's a tragedy.
It is. Would you describe yourself as a Messianic Jew, Jews for Jesus, or just how would you describe it? What denomination are you now?
I'm born-again Christian, which is non-denominational. I was Catholic when I converted, and then I became non-denominational. So that's not Messianic Jews. That is Christian, straightforward Christian. That's what I am.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I myself, I was born a Catholic and then became a born-again Christian as well. I'm a Pentecostal Christian with the Assemblies of God most of my life. I went to Times Square Church over there, too, in Manhattan, for a period of time after my repentance experience, my born-again experience as well.
Being born again puts us in the Christian light and the Old Testament light, in my case, both.
Exactly, because many people, don't realize that Jesus is Jewish. Okay, he was born a Jew, and he's still a Jew today. So when he comes back, he'll be Jewish. Yeah. So
Jesus is Jewish, and the apostles are all Jewish.
Exactly. Yeah,
all of them are Jewish that became Christians.
Yeah, none of them were Catholic. Fascinating.
There was no Christianity before Jesus.
Exactly. Well, that's great. It warms my heart to hear this. I know what you're feeling. And God bless you.
Thank you. I bless you for being a good Christian and trying to expose the evil.
Yeah. I can't thank you enough for coming on here and bringing us all this information every week. Now, have you received any kind of a feedback from these shows here when you in your regular life?
The shows are received well. And now that you're getting into the smoking gun,
today
you're getting into the smoking gun evidence, which is really the breaking news. You're going to have an impact because you'll be the first one out there to give the public and the victims the entire story.
Yeah, I hope people really understand what we're saying here, because this is a brilliant plan. That you're responsible for this restitution. You can use that as leverage, because Hoffenberg is telling the government, "Hey, I know where the money is. I can get you the money. It's over here. It's in Southern Trust." So that's and you have a witness too in the wings, ready to come out. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
This is very important. Very important smoking gun evidence.
Yeah. I hope people can appreciate that. Now, what do you have in the wings? What are you working on besides this? Or this is it?
No, we're working on showing how the Epstein crimes manifested and how Epstein and Indike manifested the criminal misconduct up until this minute. They're still doing this right this minute.
Right.
And we have to expose what Epstein and Indike are doing right now, today.
Is Indike aware of your plan here?
I don't call to tell him.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe he's listening. We can send him the show. Okay.
I think he's going to pay attention, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if I, because
well, if you were Indike, would you testify under subpoena, or would you take the Fifth Amendment?
Yeah, I guess you would have to take the Fifth Amendment. I think any attorney would advise their client in this position to take the Fifth Amendment. You're right. If it's a civil subpoena, why not? And then you're right. He would have to withdraw from the trust as an executive of that trust.
And that breaks the whole case wide open.
And you have someone in the wings who is going to take over that trust to administer that trust?
I think the Southern District of New York could appoint a very reputable trustee.
Gotcha.
Very reputable.
Stephen Hoffenberg, I can't thank you enough. Okay? Keep me posted on whatever you might have here going on with this, and we'll put you right on the air the same day, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, there we had Stephen Hoffenberg, former business partner of Jeffrey Epstein, ran the New York Post. I had another question for him about the New York Post, but I didn't get to it. Fascinating stuff. Just so you understand, Epstein's company used to be called Financial Trust. He created a new company after 2012 down the Virgin Islands called Southern Trust. And suddenly all these funds appeared in that trust. And the purpose of that trust down there in the Virgin Islands was some kind of DNA research. You can find all this in a New York Times article called Jeffrey Epstein Raked in $200 million After Legal and Financial Crisis in the New York Times. I think that's today's New York Times. So Hoffenberg's plan here is to, because he's under court order to produce restitution, okay, for his own litigation involving Tower Financial. He's got a $470 million judgment against him that he has to turn over. So if he knows where money is that can be used for that, he's obligated to report that. I tell you, man, this is a great plan, and I think it can work. Thank you so much, Stephen Hoffenberg. Check out our show. You can check out the Opperman Report at OppermanReport.com. We have our members section there. And check out our previous shows with Stephen Hoffenberg. We've done 6 previous shows at Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com. And just Google, or you just Google Opperman, Hoffenberg, Spreaker. They'll all pop up in your Google search there. You can listen to all the previous shows we've done with Stephen Hoffenberg. Once again, my friend, thank you so much. And now a word from our sponsors. OppermanReport.com. Hey, do you like what you're hearing? Do you like the work that you see us doing here at Opperman Report? You can support that work by becoming a member at OppermanReport.com. And as you have access to over 200 exclusive shows and interviews that you can't find on YouTube or Spreaker or iHeart or iTunes or KYAH. You can't find them anywhere else online, exclusive to our member sections, to our members. Also, too, there's images, videos, documents, court docs. And don't forget, you can hear your ad played here on the Operating Report, reach hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people on a daily basis because the show is repeated every day all over the world. Contact me at operatingreport@gmail.com and I'll give you a good deal on advertising rates.
Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Maybe the facility you manage could establish new revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Cart King International can be the answer to your needs. Cart King is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile coffee, food, and retail carts and kiosks. Cart King has been working with clients and corporations across North America for 20 years, providing innovative designs, custom manufacturing, and timely delivery. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on our website. Please visit us today at www.cart-king.com or just call us at 1-877-986-7771 and get your sales rolling.
Is your credit in bad shape? Do you need a new car? Ready to buy a new house? You want to rent an apartment? Are you going to apply for a job? Any one of these activities, they're going to ask for a credit report and then check out your credit score. Let Dynamic Solutions 2 erase your negative credit remarks. They offer a life-changing, dynamic financial solution. The finest in fast, professional, affordable credit repair. They have affordable monthly prices. They accept Visa, MasterCard, PayPal options available. You go to www.dynamicsolutions2, that's the number 2.com, or call 424-888-2820. Now, if you enter promo code ED or you mention Ed Opperman, you get a 10% discount. How's that? You get a free consultation, all negative items removed, get back in positive credit position. Dynamic Solutions 2, life-changing dynamic financial solutions.
Are you ready to change your life, but don't know how to start? Is your stress and worries keeping you awake at night? Have you been battling grief, anxiety, or depression all alone? Have you lost touch with your own sense of being or spirituality? Soul Free Therapies offers professional and affordable live video streaming counseling and coaching services from the comfort of your own home. Sessions offered in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Go to our website at www.soul-free.com and book your first session today.
If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents. They handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at kmdlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to kmdlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law. PureSoapFlakes.com.